Welcome back. I'm here with Judy Morris, who is from the Historical Society. It's going to talk about some very old windows.
Yes.
Welcome, Judy.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me here, Peggy. I'm quite happy to be here on behalf of the Historical Society, talking about some stained glass windows that we brought back from storage out in Sydney, BC.
Okay, so let's start maybe where they came from, where it began.
Okay, these windows are out of the St. Teresa's Academy, which was, as a lot of your viewers will know, was at the top of Crescent Heights and looking down over the St. Pat's Church. And they started life in 1914. They're glass now, 100 years old. And I have some pieces of one of the diamond-shaped windows here. I've cleaned them up, but they're very, very delicate, but they're really quite pretty.
So this is over 100 years old, the glass.
Yeah,
It's gorgeous.
Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. So you went and did you bring these?
We went out. This all started with Tony Gaisinger and Ted Grimm. A couple of 3 or 4 years ago started looking for them and looking to do some sort of a memorial to St. Teresa's Academy. As a lot of your viewers will remember, the school with a great deal of warmth and great memories. And a lot of people in this city were educated in the early years by the nuns at St. Teresa's. So it's felt that it should be commemorated in some form. So Tony and Ted were able to access where the windows were, and they contacted the owner, and they've had messages back and forth for the last 3 years anyway. And so finally, when Earl and I were out we're going out to Victoria in April, the Historical Society granted an amount of money to bring them back. And so we talked with the owner out there and saw the windows. I think you have a photo there of what they look like in the boxes. But those are the windows. We've brought back 5 windows. 3 of them are 15 feet and 2 of them are 19 feet. And the difference is the bottom bit, was rectangular. But they're all quite beautiful. The glass, once it's cleaned up, will just be beautiful. It would be lovely. So,
and the wood, how are you going to restore the wood as well into...
we would have to, yeah. This whole project is started with Ted and Tony, but now the process has to start. Now that we have the windows, that was the first step. Now the next step is to have them appraised, and I have a chap in Calgary with a good reputation who is researching how to compare the cost, how to come up with the proper appraisal. Then I wanted to let the public know that we've brought these back and solicit ideas. Where do you think that these windows would go, so that most people in the city could see them at one time or another? I have, of course, going back to the Catholic Church or the schools. That's something that would be thrown out, but also in public buildings. If we were going to be putting up a public building, maybe we could put a corner of the building with these lovely windows. They need a lot of cleaning. They need a lot of fixing up. By being stored out on the West Coast, the insulation that was used to protect them, bless their hearts for doing that, but the insulation gets kind of wet, and the rebar that's holding the windows side by side rusted, and so we have sticking insulation, and we have rust on the stained glass. But so far, any that I've tried to remove the junk from, it's been okay. One of the local contractors here in the city is storing them for us, until we can get some.
That's great.
Things
Well, they're
going.
big windows, so they'll need a big space.
Yes,
and
they are.
hopefully everybody gets an opportunity to see them.
Well, yes, that would be my hope, and
Great.
that's the hope, I think, of the board of the Historical Society.
So, Judy, if people want to be part of this project, what do they need to do?
Well, first of all, we would welcome them as members of the Historical Society. Contact me at 952-7796, area code 403, of course, or send me an email, ej.morris@shaw.ca, and we are welcoming ideas on what you think that could happen to these windows, or anything else that the Historical Society is involved in at the moment.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So if you want to get involved in the history of Medicine Hat, give Judy a call and join up with the Historical Society to preserve pieces of Medicine Hat that's been around for a long time.